Okay. Okay, so for a 2-point perspective, there are, I think a 2-point is actually easier than a 1-point. So for the Parthenon, you're going to start your horizon line, put the ruler down. You're not touching anything, you're not playing. For your horizon line, you don't want your horizon line in the middle because that's too high. You need room for your building. So we're going to go probably about like 2 inches. Where is this? This is in the way. Yes, I know. About 2 inches from the corner of your paper and up. Okay. Then you draw a horizon line down here, just like we started with our 1-point. Now the difference is we have 2 points, right? 2-point perspective. So we have vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2. Next thing we need is our line that will be the corner of our building. So I'm drawing this line right here. Like we can see both sides of the building for a 2-point perspective. So we want to draw the corner of where the corner of our building goes. You don't want it directly in the middle because then your building won't look right. You want it kind of offset a little bit. And you can decide, like you'll have a long side of the building and then you're going to have a short side. The front will probably be your short side. Does that make sense? This side will be longer. So you'll have a short side and a long side, and you can pick how you want to show that. So if I'm drawing this one, I'm going to put my corner right about here. So again, I'm not in the middle. I'm offset. I just draw a vertical line. Not all the way to the top and bottom, but I do cross my horizon line just a little bit. So I have about 1 inch between the bottom of my paper and about 1.5 inches to the top. And then this top of my line goes towards this vanishing point. Vanishing point 1. Now towards the end is actually invisible because my building will end, but I'm going to extend it with dashed lines so you can see it. And then I connect the bottom of my line to the vanishing point. Everything on this side of the paper goes towards this vanishing point. Everything on this side of the line will go towards this vanishing point. So like in our 1-point perspective, all of our lines went to our middle vanishing point. Well, in this case, across this line, they go this way. This side of the line, they come this way. So then I do the same thing over here. Top of my building, down here, and I formed the bottom of my building. So now we have our basic shape for the outline of our Parthenon. Okay. I'm going to end my Parthenon over here because technically this would be erased, right? Our Parthenon is on a triangle, right? So everyone see that this is the edge. And then same thing on this side. So you want to be sure to draw very lightly with the lightest H pencils, so 9H, 6H, 4H, because these will be erased, these will be erased, this eventually will be erased. This is perfect. Straighten it up. Both up here. Okay. And next up is, let's see. Oh, let me divide out the frieze. The frieze is called the top, so this thing up here. We need the lines to be able to draw this part. So for that, we're going to come down just a little bit in the bigger space, and then another one. And again, all these lines go where? To the vanishing point. So they come to the end of my building, connect this one to my vanishing point. I'm not just making these up, but I have to go towards my vanishing point. Same here. Now I have my outline for the top of my Parthenon. Same thing on this side. These lines go towards this vanishing point. So now they're going the other way. I have this side and this one coming as well. So these would be erased. You want to see that? Right? Okay, so like these would go away. Okay, so now I have this. What will I do next? What should I do next? What do you think, Olivia? The columns. So let's do the columns. So the columns, the one right here on the corner will be the biggest. Does everyone understand that? You'll see a little bit of this side. So technically, it'll be kind of like this. It'll be rounded eventually. Okay. And then I wouldn't do them evenly spaced. I mean, you can. But should all these columns be the same size? No. What should they do?
Smaller in the height and
Right, so this one will be my largest, and then as I go off into the distance, they're going to get smaller in width, and they're going to follow this line for the height. This is where I see most people getting confused. They forget what's a column and what's space. So you have to keep track of what you're doing. Make sure you're paying attention to what is what. I'm going to leave ruler space. Just this one will be smaller, skinnier, and smaller as it goes off into space. I'm getting kind of crooked because my ruler is off. Okay. And then to make the top of my columns, since these are Doric columns, easy way to do that is just take your ruler and put a straight line across all of those. And then you'll be able to make those 3D. Like this will go back. You're actually going to see the back side of that. Does that make sense? Like it'll be a square. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show for this one. You will have the stairs. The stairs will go towards your vanishing point. So like my vanishing point, you'll have your steps. All going towards vanishing points. And my screen's blinking. Sorry, I don't know why it's doing that. All right, so that's it to get started. So you'll be working on these first steps. I'm not going to do the top yet because that confuses people. So for mine, this one will probably be the top of my capital Parthenon. The shape will change because it's in ruins, so I don't want to draw it because you might end up changing this top part depending on how you choose to do it. I have another tutorial that shows him drawing this one. Now, I like the finished one of this. However, I do not like how he draws it. Okay, so he doesn't use a ruler. You are using a ruler. You're not a professional artist. You should not be freehanding. Actually, any kind of structural building should never be freehanded, but that's a side note. But he is freehanding it. Not too impressed by that. He should be using a ruler. But the end result is pretty close to where I would like you guys to be with more detail. I have if you're here in person, I have this as a handout on your desk. This has a step-by-step, so if you forgot one of the steps, it shows you. However, I want yours to be more detailed than this. This is like very basic for like a second grade thing. I think you guys can do better than this kind of basic drawing, but if you forget the steps of where you need to be, it has a step-by-step for you. I'm going to be playing the second tutorial. There's no sound. It'll be muted. It's just some really bad elevator music. I'll have it muted as you're working. So here in person, Olivia, can you pass out, see those longer papers over there in the corner? Pass one out to every single person. So you're using your ruler. First thing you need to do is write your name in the lower right-hand corner. Okay, let me look at the chat. Hold on. Okay, any questions?